I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello and welcome to the most extreme wrestling podcast in professional wrestling today. This is Extreme Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Arnold. Joined as always is James Doe. And finally joining us after teasing him for some time now.
About 2 months, maybe.
Finally joining us is our third permanent co-host, Jeffrey Dietz. Say hello to everybody, Jeffrey.
Hello. Hey, Darren.
Anyway,
Wonderful to be here. Wonderful.
Yeah. Obviously, let's get into not many news this week. So,
I would just rather go with the two news and then just go to what we want to do.
Yeah, obviously. So, obviously, I didn't really look into the other ones. I just really focused on WWE. So, obviously, on Raw, there was a match later on the card that had Mustafa Ali competing against MVP. The match was thrown out because MVP got his guys in the ring, Shelton and Bobby. And then lights were flickering and screens went black, ref went out, and Retribution basically came out. And MVP told Ali, "Are you going to join us and stand by us?" And they're like, "Yeah, for a little bit." And then he went out and stared down Mace and T-Bar. And then he turned, and then obviously we saw that Adam was like, and then he turned around and he had this that smirk. And I just instantly lose it. And he basically, in a nutshell, he was not only joined, but he's revealed to be the leader of Retribution.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically all chaos ensued and Retribution beat down the Hurt Business. And then it ended with Ali having his hand out and closing it, and then it went to dark.
No more Iron Man.
James, what do you think of this?
I honestly would say that I am surprised as hell that they did what they did, but I think it's the right move because the whole thing. Because remember, Ali was supposed to be the SmackDown hacker, but that never came. Never came to fruition. They just basically dropped the whole hacking stuff. So it'll make sense with the whole Retribution because since Retribution is out to destroy WWE for their misusing of people, it'll make perfect sense because Ali can use that for other storylines or NXT, whatever, for these superstars that doesn't been treated right. So,
It was staying consistent with even like his stuff on Instagram and everything like that too. He was still being like cryptic in his posts and everything like that to an extent, and he was also acting, somewhat kind of visibly frustrated about always being put on main event and everything like that. So it kind of really stays consistent with just kind of what he was doing in general, which is kind of good, I guess I would say. But yeah.
Yeah, obviously, when it comes out to everybody that's been in Retribution that has had, stuff that has happened to them, obviously, I believe Mia Yim, who is, I think is now I forgot what.
I can't remember the nicknames. Except Slapjack.
I know. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, let's not go with their nickname. Let's just go by what they were.
Yeah, obviously, and we look at obviously T-Bar, Dijak. Obviously, I was even looking at someone who posted something, kind of a little story on Instagram, and someone had said about obviously Dijak, him and Keith Lee tearing the house down, and basically him and the comment or that promo he made about everybody being whores to the contracts. Look at his frenemy, Keith Lee. He ended up changing, like that. This is part of it. He ended up changing his look and gimmick, or the song. Obviously, he went back to kind of that gimmick, the shorts and stuff. But at the time, people were complaining about that, the look and the music. And he being and hearing that Keith Lee was good with it, was okay with that, and like, what?
Yeah, they're trying to fix something that wasn't even broken. And it was frustrating.
Well-
Exactly.
Well, the only reason I'm going to cut you off right there with the music. It's not his fault. The
The
only reason
CFO
why,
thing.
yeah, that's whole CFO stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, we talked
What-
about that on here.
Yeah, we can't. They couldn't do anything about it because they would have to pay royalty, and they're not even together anymore.
CFO, bro. Come on.
But they're not
Like they
together
don't
anymore.
still
They
pay
have
Jim
a-
Johnston. Like
They do pay Jim Johnson, but here's the problem, though. They're in a lawsuit with their manager, and they broke up already. So
true. So that's probably just also an internal thing with them as well, I imagine.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, you still have people at NXT still use their theme, like the Undisputed Era. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
that's going to be changed.
Yeah. Doesn't Finn
Wow.
Balor still use his old thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also
Yeah,
CFO, but I think there's certain NXTs that still use theirs, and they still get the royalties. But once they move up to the main roster, that thing's gonna be gone.
Yeah, I don't think, and with all of those being down there, I don't think any of them are going to want to move up at some point. Not even, I don't think Undisputed Era want to be moved up. They'd be like, yeah. But obviously, getting back to what I said, Dijak, frenemies with Keith Lee, and Keith Lee was being whore about being all the contracts and stuff. Mace, obviously, Dio Madden was a commentator for Monday Night Raw when they
For like
were
a month.
about a year ago. And he got his ass beat by Brock Lesnar for
Hell of a
standing
bump.
up to Brock for Jerry Lawler or something like that.
Through a table.
And then next thing you know, he got replaced immediately by Samoa Joe. Here's the thing. Shane Thorne, Slapjack. He was one of the initial members that got recruited by MVP, and then him and Brandon Vink got dumped by MVP, who then went and got Shelton and Bobby and formed the Hurt Business.
Hey, where'd Brandon Vink go?
They went back to
I don't-
NXT.
I think, yeah, Theory I know, but Thorne, no, he's in Retribution. And then I think Mercedes Martinez, what was it? Her Retaliation, I believe it was. I know Mia Yim's was, I think it's some other longer name. It's not a stupid name, but it was one of those. It was another name or something like that. But
No clue.
yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But her is being ridiculed by the NXT and the WWE universe, and being as no one really cares about her, even after she got beat up by Dakota Kai and all, nobody cared about her. And then Mercedes Martinez, because she kind of got dumped by the Robert Stone brand. And then you got, and then obviously Ali, who obviously
I love
got
the Robert
hurt.
Stone
Yeah,
thing.
obviously, yeah. And then there's Mustafa Ali. We know about his because he got hurt by Randy Orton. He was replaced by Kofi Kingston in the Elimination Chamber match, who then went on that tear and had that Kofi Mania stuff. And then they went, okay, get him back up to there. And then obviously he almost won Money in the Bank, but then again, the aforementioned Brock Lesnar came in and won that. And like, ah! So he wants freaking. Well, so basically everybody in there is at this point wants retribution against WWE for doing the stuff that they did to them. And it's
But here's the problem. I think there's been a report that Mercedes Martinez has been removed from Retribution, so she's
Yeah,
gotta
I
go back
saw
to
some
NXT.
article today on that as well,
Yeah,
which I'm
which
okay
I
with.
think. Yeah, I think it's better because she's recently signed with WWE before COVID, so I think it's better for her to stick in NXT and improve that craft a little bit more
Yeah.
to the WWE.
And the women's
stuff.
division over there is getting a little hot. It's getting good. It's getting good.
obviously, yeah, with Io Shirai, Candice LeRae, Ember Moon, Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley, just so many names.
Yeah.
Big Mommy
And
Cool, Raquel
and also,
Gonzalez.
I don't know if you guys watch NXT UK at all, but I actually enjoy that show a whole lot, so I actually keep up with that.
Same.
And that's some. They definitely have a better tag division right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, freaking Mustache Mountain. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
obviously,
They have the Heritage Cup tournament going on right now, which is like a
I've been
rounds
following that.
a
I've been
rounds match
following that.
tournament.
Yeah, I've been following
Which is pretty.
that.
It's different and it's cool. I think they did that. What was the match they did a while ago before COVID? It was a Sid Scala versus Cassius Ono, maybe.
Yeah, Cassius Ohno. Cassius
Yeah,
Ohno.
and
Before-
he ended up in
Before
Ono
he got
Company
released, before he got
Yeah.
released to the but because of COVID and all that stuff, he was part of the he was say he was best British wrestler, so that's why
Yeah,
they did
I
that whole
loved it.
stuff.
I loved it. He was an American dude claiming he was the best British wrestler.
Yeah.
It was so good. And then just
Anyway.
everything that Noam Dar does is also amazing.
Pinky party. Pinky
little-
party. Anyway.
But not John Cena.
Yeah, no.
We're
Don't
live.
do that. Anyway, let's get on to, obviously, this past Friday, yesterday, we had the WWE Draft, Night 1, on SmackDown. Now, there were quite some interesting picks on each end. Raw got, I think, the biggest one on the Raw side is Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, who just won the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Wild.
Were drafted to Raw, and they
just came back too. Yeah, they came back too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's almost like you almost saw it coming. It's almost like you saw it coming because, like, when Biggie came out after, like, they won the celebration, it's just like,
Yeah,
something was off.
Yeah, it's great. That was, and then the other one that I was like, it's not as big of a deal as, say, Kofi and Xavier going to Raw, but also being the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I think a few notables. Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Didn't Murphy get drafted to SmackDown too, or was he Raw?
He got drafted to SmackDown as well.
Okay,
that was on the episode of Talking Smack. He was one of those.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole Seth Rollins Mysterio feud moved over to SmackDown. The entire everyone involved.
Not to mention Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. This is the first time Rey has been all back on SmackDown because
minus Humberto.
Rey Mysterio used to be a big deal player back in when SmackDown was good in the early mid to late 2000s.
What's that group called? Like the SmackDown 6 or something like that? I think he would have been part of that.
Yeah, I think if I'm correct, it was Rey, Batista, and
Taker.
Yeah, Taker, obviously. I can't remember if there was any other 6. Oh, I just can't remember. If I thought the big 4 that came to when it came to the brand split SmackDown back in the day, it's Batista, Edge, Taker, and Rey.
And Rey,
and
definitely.
Also Eddie.
Yes, Eddie. There's the other one.
JBL, kinda.
No one wants to give him credit.
No. I would say Cena early, but then he went to Raw and all that stuff. But yeah, I think the big 4 are easily Rey, Taker, Batista, and Edge. Easily. And that was the best time. And SmackDown was way better back in the day than Raw. Aside from maybe the Randy Orton, John, and the McMahons, but SmackDown was always the better to me. I always watched.
I just missed the fist. I want the fist back.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Get that.
I was hoping Fox would have brought that back.
Couple ton fists.
Yeah.
They still have it. It's not like it doesn't exist. They still have it.
Yeah.
They used it for WrestleMania. Did you see at WrestleMania when the Firefly?
Oh yeah. That's right.
What do y'all think of all the picks? I think I saw. Obviously, Mandy Rose is staying on Raw. Taki is on Raw. Miz and Morrison are on Raw.
They split up Heavy Machinery.
Yep.
Yeah, Otis is on SmackDown.
And Tucker got drafted to Raw.
Yeah, Miz and Morrison are on Raw.
It brings an intrigue to that situation because all your players for that whole Money in the Bank stuff, that's on Raw except for Otis. Otis is the only one to not go to Raw, which could possibly lead to something
with the WWE title or the Universal title, I guess.
Yeah, I just don't know I don't know how you're gonna piece that together unless they do something on the season premiere of SmackDown this Friday.
Yeah, and then obviously
because the court case got delayed, quote unquote. But
although he could also take advantage of that, and he could actually use that to move over to Raw and go after Drew's title maybe in a way. And
Nah,
if like
that-
you would
that
think
would-
maybe
that
if he
would-
won that, he would get to stay with Tucker. I don't know.
No, the only reason why I think they did that is
but,
the same.
But forget Mandy.
Or then again,
But,
they might end up putting the briefcase on the Miz, and they can reminisce about what happened a decade
no.
ago. And freaking
No,
Randy
we don't
Orton
need
again.
a briefcase trade off, a briefcase trade off.
Well, I
don't need that.
I wouldn't mind Miz winning it this time because he has proven himself in the ring since he won the WWE title in 2010. I think he's ready for at least one more world title ring.
He's still up here, but they should have done that like 2 years ago when he was like red hot.
Oh hell yeah! They should.
When he was like when he had the IC title, and he was doing that whole thing, and especially with the Talking Smack episode with Daniel Bryan. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's when they should have done it.
They should have done it then. I mean, yeah, technically, yeah. I don't know.
Let's see if another season of Miz and Maurice comes out. Maybe if he's a world champion during that'll spark up ratings.
They could put the title on him just because of that and put it on reality.
It's not a bad show. Not a bad show.
Yeah, better than Total Divas. That's for damn sure.
I agree.
At Total Divas, because that's garbage.
No, well, here's the thing though. The whole Otis briefcase thing is the only reason why I've heard was that the only reason why Otis has the briefcase still is because McMahon is a big fan of Otis. And basically, I think the only reason why they split up Otis and Tucker is the same way they split up Big E and the New Day, is because they want to put them as big singles competitors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, but it at what cost? It's just like.
I'll give you 1 second. I have to go plug this in real fast.
Yeah, James. At what cost, though? You know, it's.
Yeah, especially with the New Day, the whole 6 years and them doing a whole lot. When people thought that gimmick was not good, they made it the best they can, and look how it is.
Yeah, they're the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. They've won the tag team titles. They've won the tag team titles so many damn times.
Nine times.
Trading it back and forth with the Usos in those grueling matches that they've had against each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you mean at this point you would think at some point they would, maybe at some point, but I was like, why would they? At the height of their most recent work has been some of the best that they've had, especially since 2016 when they got that record, Kofi winning the WWE title and then winning the tag titles again, and having Xavier and Big E being the tag champs while Kofi is the WWE champion. That was like probably the biggest moment of their careers.
Last year
could have been better, but it was fun.
Alright. Anyway, we got. Since obviously the draft is this week, we decided to do our own little fantasy wrestling draft. James came up with the idea of 10 wrestlers. Well, 7 of them are main event and mid card, and 3 are tag team. And how many did you have for women?
5 women.
Yeah, 5.
So basically the rules are as followed. We each go to pick individuals. Each of us are going to pick 15 people. Now, it doesn't matter which order you pick the people. You can put tag team first. You can put women first. You can put whatever first. The only rule is that we cannot pick the same people that these people pick. So once they pick the person, that person's off the board.
And there is a plethora of people to choose from all promotions.
Sorry, my dogs are going crazy on the other side of the door.
From all promotions, past and present. From WWF/WWE, WCW, ECW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, Impact /TNA. Just a plethora of promotions that come up. Oh yeah, AEW too. So obviously, my first pick, and James, I think you should know because of how much of a fanboy I am of him. My first pick is The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
It's an obvious for me.
I mean, you can give a short reason why, honestly.
I mean, obviously, I want to try and kind of build a division around him and not get too many big guys bigger than him, maybe one or two, but get people that can work with him. You know, guys like, say, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, AJ Styles, you know, guys that are smaller than him so that he can elevate those kind of guys to be able to beat Taker and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We wait for Jeffrey.
All right, Jeffrey.
All right, sorry about that.
Yeah, I made my pick. Who do you got?
So what? You picked Taker, right?
Yeah, I picked Taker.
Taker.
Okay. Why? So wait. So why do you pick Taker as your first, though?
Obviously, I said I want to try and I would want to build the whether it is mid card or main event around him. You know,
I understand that.
Not have too many big guys, because you look at what's happened with him outside of, say, Yokozuna or Diesel. You know, you look at guys like, say, Mabel or something like that, or Great Khali, and they're just no. I want to get smaller guys than him, like a Shawn Michaels, a Bret Hart, an AJ Styles, CM Punk, guys like that, and he'd be using to elevate them, basically.
Right. I understand that.
Jeffrey, your turn.
Oh, all right. See, originally I was like going to like just go ahead and pick favorites. I guess like just kind of like you did, but I guess I got to be the smart person and pick the actual main eventer that's gonna, like, you know, sell seats and everything. So I gotta go Stone Cold. Gotta go Stone Cold Steve Austin.
James.
Gotta go Stone Cold. Not my personal top number one, just for personal reasons, but what he was able to do is just in the short, like, just time span. Imagine if you actually had him around for like 10 years or something.
Yeah, easily.
Could have done anything.
Just give him a chance. Well, for me, no. My
except don't turn heel.
Yeah, don't turn me heel. That's no.
My personal would have been Stone Cold, but for me, my pick for number one has to be the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Which is my pick's favorite.
Here's the thing. He is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, 16-time world champion. But he has the charisma. How he presented himself is why he is one of the greatest.
Yeah, he obviously, that's someone I can agree with. My second.
And nobody bleeds better.
Okay, second pick for me. I wouldn't try and figure someone out that would be kind of somewhere in the middle, somewhere that can be a main event but be mid card. And I never.
Well, which one is it?
There was a plethora of some of those guys that can fit into that role. But as much as I'm having to skip my second favorite, I gotta go with Bret the Hitman Hart. Easily. And obviously, and like I said, we're going back to Taker and saying Bret Hart. He was one of those guys that whenever he wanted to fight Bret, he wanted to, you know, have a wrestling match with him and stuff like that. So it makes
arguably had the greatest match of all time with Stone Cold in that WrestleMania 13 submission match.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's my second because obviously he is a 5-time WWE champion, 2-time Intercontinental and 2-time Tag Team champion. I mean, he's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Yep.
I mean, it's no brainer that he'd be my second pick.
Excellent pick. So me personally, the reason I got into wrestling was because I had a friend named Matthew, actually, who introduced me to a lot of like wrestling, and ironically, our names are Matt and Jeff. So my second pick is going to be the Hardy Boys because personally, tag team wrestling is very, very important to me, and it should be more important across all brands, just in general. because my dream is to one day have a tag team match headline WrestleMania. I don't think that'll ever happen, but just to headline a WWE pay-per-view, I would love to see that, even still in this day. So I would go Matt and Jeff as my second pick, as the Hardy Boys, basically, as my tag team pick.
James?
For obvious reasons, because, I mean, you can't really pick a better tag team. A more, what's the word? What's the word? I mean, they probably have the most belts across brands, to be honest. I mean, how many different belts from different promotions have they gotten? Like at least 6 or 7?
Yeah, I not just them, but the Dudleys as well. They've gotten a lot of tag team titles across multiple promotions. Like even when Bubba Ray even said ECW tag team champions, WWE tag team champions, and WCW tag team champions. I don't know if they've won any titles in Japan, but they've also they've even been TNA World Tag Team Champions too.
But that's the thing is that that's the thing is like that's the full package of them. You know, you get all the stuff that Team Extreme was able to do in WWE, and then you also get the craziness that Matt Hardy was able to introduce in the Broken Universe and TNA and everything like that. So, you get a little bit of the Brother Nero and Broken Matt Bond and everything like that. And I don't know if Willow counts into that, but yeah.
I kind of do because he wants
in a weird way.
Jeff wants to bring that in.
That would be cool. I'm still okay with it.
All right.
James? I'm still up for it. He's actually my personal favorite, Jeff Hardy, mostly just because of the name connection. But yes.
Yeah, obviously.
James, Ryan, you're gonna really hate me for this, but my second pick is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me one bit. I mean,
because here's the thing, though. Again, it goes to the Ric Flair. He has the charisma. He can do a lot of stuff in and out of the ring. So, and that's somebody, I grew up watching Shawn Michaels, even as like the commissioner, and like he still brought, that flavor of, hey, look, heel or face, he can bring it.
Yeah. And not to mention with Shawn, he's had great matches with Taker. Obviously, the aforementioned, the two best WrestleMania Taker's ever had in 25 and 26. Bret Hart, the Iron Man match. Ric Flair, Ric Flair's final match. I mean, you put him against even wrestled Stone Cold at WrestleMania 14.
With a broken back, by the way.
Yeah, obviously. So you put him with anybody, he's gonna give you a quality match easily. Okay, my third pick, and I have to go with it. I'm gonna try and go with a tag team like Jeffrey here.
Here we go.
Tag team. This is gonna be. There are some good teams, but I don't know if y'all are gonna pick them, but I'm gonna go with. It's tough. There's so many good teams that I could literally pick outside of just the Hardy Boys. Oh Jesus, who would be the one that I pick from the first team that I would pick? I think for me, what is my one favorite team?
Oh man, on the spot.
It's literally tough to try and think of a team. Right
you can go with the one you said earlier.
Oh, the Dudleys.
That's a good.
Maybe if I may come back. Yeah, why not? Dudleys. They're kind of the same situation as the Hardys. They've won titles.
Absolutely.
Won titles all over the world and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
By the way,
the Bully Ray stuff is underrated too.
By the way, I looked it up. Yes, the Dudleys have won New Japan titles.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Great pick.
Yeah, because Bully Ray, I think when they had a promo with Devon, when Devon was in Aces and Eights, he mentioned no team has ever kicked out of the 3D. He mentioned ECW, WWE, WCW, Japan. He mentioned all of those. And I saw someone comment about that, and he said some Japanese guy, some Japanese guy kicked out of it, but I can't remember what he's.
Well, I forgot one of the Motor City Machine Gun did it too, but that was
but obviously they kicked. Yeah, obviously.
But
I'm going with the Dudleys for my first tag team. Jeffrey,
good pick.
Who's your next pick?
All right, so for my next pick, I gotta go towards the ladies because I also think nowadays, especially, it's a pretty important thing to have a good women's division because obviously AEW is still getting judged based off their women's division a little bit, and me personally, yeah, their women's division is kind of poop. So, everything else they're doing, I do really enjoy, but their women's division is still kind of poop. It's only centered around 2 people, and it's needs work. So my second pick, or my third pick, I guess, actually now, I would also pick a Flair. I'm gonna go Charlotte Flair because man, you can't, man, like seriously, she can have a good match with anybody, literally anybody, and she's really good at playing either roles. Like she can pull sympathy for the most part, even though the smart internet wrestling fans and everything kind of feel the way that she's almost like a second Roman in a sense, that getting a little overpushed. But like, dude, like it's well deserved in my opinion. She's good. She can do everything. Like I don't understand the hate for the woman. Like she's fantastic.
Well, obviously, it's the whole mentality of she's being overexposed, over pushed, and all that stuff. A lot of people, I even was watching, I think, what was a Parts Unknown video, and it was, I think, Luke talking about, is Charlotte Flair actually good and stuff, but some people have said that she is just overexposed, but they did say she is a really great wrestler.
She's extremely good. Extremely good.
Yeah, like I said, she's being overpushed because of who her father is, and it was like, yeah, I want a female Roman Reigns. Yep, Charlotte. There we go.
I'm okay with the fact that she's had 10 titles. That fits. That's fine.
I think she has 12. I think she's had 12.
I think we're up to like about 10 or 11 at this point 10. Now. Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
10.
It's getting up there at that point.
Mm-hmm. Think she'll break her dad's record.
I think she might break it before. I think she'll catch up and win the titles when she comes back and stuff.
Yeah.
James, who is your third pick?
Man, yeah, I was really going to go for a tag team, but Jeffrey over there went with the women. It make me think about who I really want to pick.
Not my personal favorite, but still, I think the most important.
Yeah, I think honestly there is other ones, but I think I'm gonna go with a woman, and this is gonna be. It's my personal favorite, actually. AJ Lee.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Reason
just
why,
as revolutionary.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. A lot of
Charlotte
people.
Of her time.
Yeah, she's the Charlotte of her time. But here's the thing, though. Yeah, she was underutilized in the beginning, but once she came out that character in 2012, the Crazy Chick character, she blossomed into her own thing. Yeah. Her time was short because of the neck injury, but she did stuff that no other women did for a long time, never since Trish Stratus, Lita.
Right.
Basically, she put herself into like the main event picture. She wasn't a part of the main event matches, but she was part of the main event picture with Punk, Daniel Bryan, Kane, and all that stuff.
And obviously, she would marry Punk later on down the road, obviously.
And it was funny. It was funny too. But yeah, it's more as like the only reason why she doesn't get talked about a lot more with the women's revolution is because of her affiliation with CM Punk.
Yeah.
And she should get a lot of that credit. Her and Paige should get that credit of making the women's revolution what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. My number 4, and I'm going to go over the women in here. And basically, with her, if she wasn't as successful as she was, it really wouldn't be, because she was idolized by some of those names you mentioned. My 4th pick is Trish Stratus. I mean, she's a seven-time women's champion. I mean, she's the reason.
Gotta pick the ladies.
She along with say, Lita, Jazz, Jacqueline, some of those that were great, were trying to make the women's division mean something, and I kind of like that that time frame of it.
Yeah.
Like easily, you know, and she sticks out. I would even put Mickey James in that picture too.
And the thing is that nobody thought she was going to be good, but she improved her craft from just being this model type character to what she is, the greatest 7-time women's champion of all time.
No,
Exactly.
besides Sable,
And
she
my
basically
biggest-
invented the diva.
Exactly.
Well, but she basically invented the female wrestler. She grew
Right.
into the female
Yeah,
wrestler
that's right.
look.
That's kinda what I meant.
Later in her career, and basically, like you talk to all the women in that roster, Sasha Banks,
That and woman.
Bayley, Becky, you know, all those. None of that would even happen if it wasn't for some of those like Trish Stratus, Lita, Jazz, Jack, all those ladies.
Yeah.
That we're putting. Yeah, obviously the ratings from freaking Dave Meltzer, which screw Dave Meltzer. But obviously, you look at those matches. They could go if they were in the modern time right now. They would be getting those kind of ratings. They get 3-star, 4-star, 5-star ratings and stuff like that easily. If it was in this time period, easily.
Honestly, that one Trish Lita match, on Raw, that when Lita won the title, that could have been a 5-star match.
The WrestleMania 18 match was really, really good too, but that gets underrated because that was just right after Rock versus Hogan. So, like, it's hard to
that is a classic right there.
Yeah, but no, like even that match that they had at WrestleMania 18, that was the first. I believe that was like the first time the women's title was even defended on WrestleMania. I want to say too. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure or something like that.
It's the closest until we got to, you know, the triple threat winner take all match at Mania 35, where it was Becky.
Well, I think that there was for the Attitude Era version of the women's title. Yes, I think if you think about WrestleMania 1, did have a women's title match.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I think it was both of their first WrestleManias, Trish and Lita's. So maybe that was it.
All right, Jeffrey, who's your fourth pick?
Oh, we're already back to me. Okay. Oof. Well, I guess no one's really picked like a mid-card guy yet, but I don't know if I want to go that route.
Well, technically, I did with Bret Hart, but he's kind of somewhere in the middle. But I haven't gotten a pure mid-card guy yet.
As far as pure mid-card guy, because I kind of want to like at least get like at least one of each out of the way first. A pure mid-card guy. That's not the Miz. Because we were saying earlier that he could have been a main eventer too at the right time.
Yeah, especially that hot streak he had from 2016 to 2018 or somewhere around there, and easily he was putting on his best work and could have easily won a world title then.
But that's a hard one. If I were to just go like best pure like mid card guy, although we did mention X-Pac earlier, and he's not a bad choice for that as well. Or you said 6 is at least a version of it.
Six X-Pac 1, 2, 3.
And honestly, he actually was one of my first favorite wrestlers when I did first get into wrestling, just in general, because I was a really big DX fan, and when I had, the video games, SmackDown 2, Know Your Role, I always had X-Pac and Road Dogg teamed up, everything like that. So, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go with X-Pac as my my mid-card.
Okay.
King of the mid-card. Because, in the same vein, he can kind of do it all in a sense. And he was also one of the I wouldn't say, like, pioneering people, but, like, one of the forefront people of, like, the smaller guy, you know, being able to being introduced in wrestling to a sense, but also being taken as a big deal in the same vein too. Like you couldn't, his victory over him, what's his name?
Razor Ramon.
Oh goodness, Razor Ramon. As the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he, and I think honestly, if it wasn't for like the neck injuries and everything like that, we could have saw more from him, to be honest, and other controversies and whatnot. But yes, I thought we could have seen a lot more from the dude under that WWF brand, I guess, at the time. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with X-Pac as my fourth pick because he was technically my first favorite wrestler outside of Jeff Hardy. So
yeah,
and Stone Cold. So I will definitely give him credit. And he also has the best moveset.
Yeah.
Eat crotch. Eat crotch.
Okay. The Bronco Buster. Yeah. All right. Now I'm really gonna go with a tag team, but I think if you think of tag team, you really have to think of the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors.
Oh yeah.
Hawk and Animal.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, we have
to both of them now.
Team from Illinois, obviously. They represent Illinois proud, though.
And I say this, they honestly revolutionized the tag team division. I mean, there's been other teams, but when you talk about tag team,
Road Warrior pop.
The Road Warrior pop. That's the thing. So I'm going with the Legion of Doom.
Okay.
Also a great pick.
Fifth one for me. I'm gonna go mid card. You didn't even think of this guy. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat from your mid card. I mean, come on.
I agree.
That classic match he had with Macho Man.
Excuse me.
It's easily one of the
Which
greatest.
I guess I found out very heavily choreographed, but that's okay.
But yeah, it's
okay, because not a lot of guys were doing that at the time.
Yeah, you don't get something like that all the time.
They were just calling it. Now it's vice versa.
It's crazy that you get intercontinental title matches, especially sometime during the late 80s and early 90s. We're getting some of those really lengthy matches, you know. Mm-hmm. Ones that come to mind that I think that were really lengthy were obviously Steamboat and Savage in Mania 3, and Bret versus British Bulldog at SummerSlam 92. And those both were relatively long. Usually you get matches like that when it comes to the Intercontinental title, and them being relatively long on some of those big pay-per-views. They get quite a shine back in those days. Like easily.
Yeah.
So yeah, my fifth pick is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Jeffrey, who's your
good mid-card pick? Good mid-card pick. Very good mid-card pick. Oof. Oh man, we're already back to me already. All right. I still think I want to pick another tag team too, just because James did as well. And I was just like,
You don't have to. You already have one.
You want to? Yeah, but like you want to start that tag team division right. You want to start that tag team division right. And honestly, I mean, if you want to think of like greatest tag teams in wrestling outside of like, you know, the Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian, everything like that, I'm gonna look outside of WWE. I'm gonna go Young Bucks. I'm gonna go Young Bucks.
Yeah,
because honestly, like, and they're not even like a huge favorite of mine, but I can respect what they've been able to add to tag team wrestling in the past, like, 10 years or so, or however long they've been around. They just they take tag team seriously. They take tag team wrestling very, very seriously. And and at first I wasn't really into the spot fest matches sometimes, but when you really look at them in general, they really do know how to do storytelling even within that formula, but they also have been able to step back when it does call for it and everything like that. I mean, like, dude, if you're able to have like a 45-minute, super banger with Kenny Omega and Hangman Page for the tag team championships, it's still I think one of the best tag team matches of all time. No, I think they really, really add something just to wrestling in general. And like I said, I think tag team wrestling is a very, very important thing and should be taken more seriously, wrestling in general. So I'm going to go Young Bucks because they can kind of do it all too. Because they're actually pretty good heels as well. But
yeah,
you don't want to hate somebody with streamers on their legs. So
yeah. James, your pick.
Whew. Well, I thought about this very carefully. I want to go with a mid-carder. But you can also put him as a main eventer. The British Bulldog.
Ooh. There you go. That's a good one.
Wow, yeah. That caught me off guard.
That's a good one. I know. Because I almost thought it was going to be somebody else.
Here's the thing, though. A guy that should have been at least a champ one time. There's one of the couple of people who should have been a world champion.
And should have main evented more than that one time.
Except for the 96 feud with Michaels.
But I mean, the one time you did, I mean, it was against Bret Hart. It was in Donington, and it was at and it's one of the greatest main events.
His son's coming up. You never know.
That should have been for the WWE Championship, not the Intercontinental Championship. But again,
I'm okay with the IC title headlining.
Yeah. And again, the IC Championship back at the time was as important as the WWE Championship, if not better than the WWE Championship, because of matches like.
Definitely one of my favorite belts.
Yeah, the way I think about that title is that is a wrestler's world championship. Whereas, if you're going the world title picture back in the day, you'd have to be, that big guy look, guys like Hulk Hogan.
The guy that somebody can look up to more or less. And like somebody like the British Bulldog, it's he's good in the UK, but the US you can't really market him as much as you could with Hulk Hogan and all that stuff. So and again, another great wrestler, underrated, should have been. And I'm glad they decided to put him in the Hall of Fame. Know that even though the Hall of Fame been delayed to 2021, still a great person to be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm glad they chose him to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Okay. My sixth pick, and I don't even have to say it. I'm just going to show him real quick. Andre the Giant.
Ooh. That's a great...
First big man.
Yeah, I needed to go with someone of a big type guy. And
Land of the Giants.
Immediately, Andre came to mind. I'm like, freaking pick Andre the Giant because obviously, he's also the precursor to what Taker would be, the locker room leader back in the day. He was one of those guys that basically everybody liked, and he was good enough to be kind of a leader back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
If you get on Andre's bad side, ooh boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good when you get on his bad side. It's not a good sign, but yeah. My sixth pick is Andre the Giant.
Good pick.
I just want to cut in really, really fast. I should have been more prepared, and I did not charge my cellular device before this, so I might have to cut out early just because this thing is dying and it won't charge while I'm doing this for some reason. So
that's fair. Okay, what is your sixth pick, Jeffrey?
Let's say this. I'm sorry. Before we cut, worst comes to worst. If we don't finish this, we can do this next week.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But you actually gave me a great idea, James, for my next pick because you had said British Bulldog and you kind of were like teeter-tottering mid-card main eventer. And I almost thought you were about to say somebody else, but I'm really, really glad you didn't because my next pick is Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, because
I was going to pick him too.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Damn.
You picked British Bulldog, and I was like, oh man, hold on. So, yeah, no, I picked Eddie Guerrero because another guy who could literally do it all, and was also super duper good in the mid card, but also was able to prove himself very well in the main event in the short time span that we got with him in that spot. So Latino Heat.
That feel good moment when he won the WWE title. When he won that WWE title from Brock Lesnar. That's kind of interesting because he did have a birthday yesterday, so that's interesting.
Oh yeah, remember when Kalisto won the Cruiserweight title for a day from Enzo? Just because it was Eddie Guerrero's birthday 2-3 years ago?
That was
randomly,
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super duper randomly.
Yeah.
But I wish he would have kept that because I was definitely done with Enzo at that point in time. But anyways, so yeah, my sixth pick here is definitely Eddie Guerrero.
All right, James.
You picked British Bulldog, so I was like, oh, hold on. I know the perfect response to that one.
You say perfect pick on that one, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going back to that fence thing. Mm-hmm. Mid-Carter, that could have been a main eventer. Mr. Perfect.
Yes.
As soon as you said perfect,
The Hennig.
Yeah, because here's another guy that could have been a world champion, but he can wrestle.
Yes, he can.
I feel sorry for what WWE did to his son, but man,
basically the closest he ever got to probably getting.
He should have done more sit-ups.
The closest he ever got was that 2002 Royal Rumble, and he was one of the final four. They should have.
But Kurt, awesome. you could have really even said it for WCW when he was in WCW. But Mr. Perfect.
I thought we were getting Bo Dallas coming back. What happened with that?
Don't worry about that one. But yeah, Mr. Perfect. Again, somebody, great wrestler. That's in that mid stretch could have been main eventer. Right?
Yeah, obviously. The seventh pick, I'm gonna go. I think with a tag team for this one, and
got you like a tag team now already.
I want to try and think of someone from outside. Oh shit! That was freaking camera came off. Freaking camera came off. If I had to say for a tag team, and I did pick, I'm gonna go somewhere outside of that. I'm gonna go with Beer Money. James Storm and Bobby Roode. Man, this keeps falling off.
I didn't watch a lot of TNA, so you'll have to enlighten me on this.
So, as obviously, Beer Money, it's James Storm. James Storm drinks a lot of beer.
Yes.
Robert Roode, Bobby Roode, whatever you want to call him. At the time, he was basically this rich, snobby type of person. Not like $1 Million Man, but like more with like stocks and stuff. But then they joined together. What
Glorious character should be?
A little bit different to what the Glorious character.
Oh, excuse me.
But it was just it basically just because he had more money,
right?
And again, that's why it's called Beer Money, because
Beer Money. I get it. Because James is beer,
and Roode with his money. Yeah.
Yeah, money.
But they are a great tag team in TNA. They won the TNA World Title a couple times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my seventh pick. Beer Money.
Not bad.
Jeffrey,
not bad. You make me want to pick another tag team, but no, I really got to pick another main eventer here. I really, really do, because like, who are you gonna have like Stone Cold wrestling with? You know what I'm saying? And you already picked Bret Hart. Darn you. So, man, this one's really, really tough. I could. Ooh, I could go that route, but that's just that's too easy. That's just too easy. But at the same time, why not? I gotta go Rock. Dude, you gotta go Rock. Gotta go the Rock, man. I actually used to have like an autographed what was it, like a little paper like picture thing I got at some festival market thing. It wasn't like his like it was his actual signature on the thing, but it was like it was like in bulk, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there was like a bunch of them. But even still, I don't know, my grandpa smashed it one time because my room was messy and he was just walking around in the room and was like, "Oh, that's not important." Yes, it is, Grandpa. You just smashed the Rock's face.
Yeah, wait till the Rock comes to your door and gives you a rock bottom.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Grandpa. But regardless, the Rock, I mean, that speaks for itself. I mean, like the same thing kind of with Stone Cold. He was only really in that main event circle for like a short period of time and then gone and became Mr. Hollywood. And man, even with the couple times that he came back, he was still able to show that he was able to do this thing very, 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 very well, you know, and didn't even need necessarily like the most diverse moveset in the world or anything like that. It didn't matter that he oversold the hell out of the Stone Cold Stunner or anything like that. you know, he's the great one. So, dude, you got to go with the great one.
James?
You know, it's really hard for me to really think about stuff because I got good things. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with.
I got a great list right now.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go on the Jeffrey route because really, honestly, I got Ric Flair. I got Shawn Michaels, but honestly, I could put Shawn Michaels in between. I got Ric Flair as one of the greatest heels. Who you have to have as a face, and I think honestly,
you got Shawn Michaels. I mean,
I know, but I would rather go somebody else. Now I could go the route of Hogan because of the whole fantasy stuff that everybody wanted to have back in like the early '90s when both Flair and Hogan was in WWF. But with my roster,
should have been that main event.
yeah, but with that roster of mine, I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna go with Ric Flair's Ric Flair's greatest rivals in WCW and NWA.
Outside of Steamboat.
Outside of Steamboat. And outside of Dusty Rhodes.
Let me guess. Woo!
Sting, yes.
Yeah! Ah!
Yep.
That's someone who I was gonna pick.
Because here's the again, Sting. Besides that one stupid time in WCW and a little bit of TNA with the Main Event Mafia, Sting is one of the greatest face, and how he put himself. He brought WCW.
You can walk through that guy.
Yeah, nobody face paint and all that stuff. He's a great person to have. Great wrestler, and even towards the whole run in WWE, he broke. I think his back or something like that.
Yeah.
That
darn buckle bomb.
That buckle bomb to the to buckle.
Which is banned now, I guess. But
no, they still do it, but it's just it's more.
Don't let Nia Jax do it.
Yeah, just don't let Nia Jax do it. But yeah, but anyways, but Sting is somebody you have to have as somebody to go against a top heel.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's you're absolutely right about that. Absolutely right.
Yeah. Well, now that you made me think of it, I really don't have much of a major heel on my list yet. So
even with mine, Rock can play both.
Honestly, Ryan would Taker can be any heel face, and Bret Hart can also be heel and face.
Yeah,
I want to try and pick.
He was a great heel.
I would think of somebody who I want that's a major heel, and really the only, and I could go with so many that come off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of who I could think of as a major heel, and I realize that there's really the original, a true heel at some point in his career, Rowdy Roddy.
Yes.
I mean, come on. That came to my mind. I'm like, oh yeah. If there was someone I'd want to get that was a truly a heelish guy, Rowdy Piper comes to mind easily.
Yes.
For Christ's sakes, his rivalry with Hulk Hogan is legendary.
Yes. Definitely a really good heel pick. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really wanted to go with a heel pick now too. Like, I know somebody. I know a couple of people that's a heel that you could pick.
I know, like, I have like two people in mind right now that like are like my favorite heels, like kind of current. Well, I wouldn't say currently, but like they're just like really excellent at them. But I don't know which of them I wanted to pick out of the two.
Yeah, you're limited now since I picked.
Oh, or I can go a completely different route too. Ooh, I got an even better one then. I'm gonna go Jericho. I'm gonna definitely go Jericho.
Yeah.
You know, at first I was kind of tossed between like Miz and Samoa Joe, but nah, Jericho.
Yeah.
Definitely Jericho. I mean, hey,
You got Rock and Steve Austin, on my roster already. So hey, maybe you can beat him in one night again.
Yeah.
The first undisputed champion. And I actually enjoyed their match at WrestleMania 18. I don't know. I that's one of my personal favorites because it's the first WrestleMania I watched. So it's like I always kind of harken back to that one a little bit. Even though 17 is probably the best one, but 18 for me was also very, very special. So and his match with Triple H was not bad, even though like it was so weird that like Triple H playing babyface and everything, but at the same time, like Jericho's excellent heel. But I forgot the whole reason why even Stephanie was even with him for like that match. But regardless, I mean, dude, guys,
like a divorce type.
Yeah, it was something. I really don't remember, but the guys.
It was the storyline divorce between Triple H and Stephanie. That's one.
Yeah, the guys that go, and also I'm personally like, just even outside of wrestling. I mean, the guys. He can do it all. He's a Renaissance man for sure. So, yeah, you gotta throw in Jericho.
Yeah, James.
Man, yeah, really much to think. But I'm gonna go with a heel, but I'm gonna go with kind of a mid-carder.
Okay.
I got Ric Flair. You gotta go with the enforcer, Arn Anderson.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That Four Horsemen.
And you're picking, and you're picking him individually.
I was gonna pick Brain Busters, which would be Arn and Tully.
Yeah. Not a bad choice.
But you think, but here's the thing,
you can't do it now.
But here's the thing, though. You think about this honestly. Arn Anderson, yes, he is a tag team person, but he's been a mid card. He was also in that mid card.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was. I don't if I remember correctly. He had the TV title at one point in time.
Yeah, no, he did. I believe so.
Yeah.
Best spine buster in the game.
I think it was Oli and Tully was the tag team chief.
Yeah, the Brain Busters. That's what they were in WWE.
Yeah.
Was it WWE? They're the Brain Busters?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was them, or not yet. Arn and Tully were the Brain Busters, and then they had the Colossal Connection, which was Haku and Andre.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then on mine, Andre is a face. I don't know if I want to change.
Yeah. But for me, I think I put Arn as more of that enforcer type for the mid carder, but also because of Flair.
Okay.
Because of that whole thing. Because I already have Perfect. He's a good heel, and I have Bulldog. I could put him as the face against him. But again, but for Arn, he could go with Flair, but he's also could be that mid-quarter heel also.
Absolutely.
All right, Ryan.
Absolutely. You just gave me a great idea. Again.
I need to stop giving you ideas.
I initially, because you took Arn for me, so Brain Buster is out of the question.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when it comes to me, I think when it comes down to other teams, I'm trying to think of other teams that
yeah, I probably should pick another tag team
that
too.
Bobby Heenan managed at one point or something. But then I realized, okay, well, who do I have? Well, basically all the other teams can be heels, but I then thought of, and going back to the word money, I immediately thought of Money Inc.
Money,
Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster.
Okay.
I immediately thought I need a pure heel tag team, and I immediately thought Money Inc. Like,
honestly, the only I would have picked just Ted DiBiase, but you make a great point because here's the thing with Ted DiBiase, you could just put him as an individual, and he was a main event heel. But with Money Inc., you can put him not just a heel, but with a tag team also.
Mm-hmm. In the main event.
Easily.
You smart man, Ryan. You smart man.
That is smart. That's very, very smart.
Everybody's got a price.
Everybody's got a price.
All right, Jeffrey.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna like bounce off what James was doing earlier, and I gotta go with another everything can do it all guy, and unfortunately was kind of taken from us a little too soon, obviously. So I gotta go Owen Hart, since somebody picked Bret Hart. So, but yeah, if you want anything that's just as good, if not better, dude, Owen Hart, come on, man. Owen Hart, man, we could have seen so much from that guy. Who else could have made the blue blazer work? Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, no. Gotta go Owen Hart. He was able to do so many different things. His promo was super duper good. Super duper duper good promo.
And the fact that he made being in the nation also work. That's also a crazy thing too.
That and in a weird way, I kind of wouldn't mind having a little bit of a redemption match for him in Austin, in my federation here. So, yeah, dude, like Owen Hart, I would have loved to have seen him just like too soon. It was just too soon, man.
All right.
Everything.
All right.
Nice jersey. I just noticed you were an LSU jersey.
Thank you. Even though we lost, this is a Joe Burrow jersey.
They're my second favorite college team out of Penn State. Hey, Nittany Lions.
All right.
Yeah, good.
Now,
James, who do you got next?
I'm going back to the women. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, because I haven't gotten that much.
Yeah, we gotta get back there too.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I have to think of different women, but this is a dream match. Because I have AJ Lee.
You do have AJ Lee.
AJ Lee versus Lita.
Ooh!
God dang it!
My first favorite female wrestler.
You gotta do it because here's the thing though. Lita is your high flying. She's with Trish.
Extreme.
She revolutionized not just the Hardys, but she also revolutionized the high flying divas. And again,
also revolutionized how women were presented as well. You didn't necessarily have to be the posh, look at me, even though she was definitely in bikini plenty of times. But yes.
But you could end up being just a tomboy kind of girl.
Yes. Yes.
Again,
because of her,
inspiration to millions.
Again,
we got someone like AJ Lee if it wasn't for Lita or Paige even.
Yep.
Exactly. If you look at it, AJ Lee has even mentioned that Lita was her favorite growing up. So you think about that.
You're either a Trish guy or a Lita guy. Like
exactly. You could be both, but a lot of people would choose either or because of the great rivalry with Trish. But if you go with my federation right here, Trish and Lita would be that main event.
Man. You got Trish and Lita.
Yeah, but I got Trish.
Ryan, I think Ryan got Trish.
Okay.
Okay, so that's right. No, you have AJ Lee. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
I can't pick, and this is my this kind of would be, and I'm giving 4 to the main eventers, and my final pick, and he's a heel as well, Yokozuna. Because obviously I realized, because watching that interview that Taker had with Corey Graves about Yoko and him cheering up, I realized, I want to get Yoko. Obviously, BSKs and those two formed it, and they had that really special bond backstage and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Because of that, I wanted to get Yoko if no one had taken him. So Yoko's my.
Oh, you gave me a good idea for like a pick, but I don't want to make it now because I think I want to pick another female now. But you gave me a great idea for another pick later. That's very obscure.
I'm gonna try to think of a female.
I'm gonna throw in with a female here. Since I guess Trish and Lita are already off the board, everything like that. So I gotta go with I gotta go with my current favorite female wrestler. I gotta go Asuka, dude. Gotta go with Asuka, bro. Asuka's mint. She's mint. Mint. And it doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously, better as a babyface anyway. They try to do the heel thing. I mean, she can do it, but at the same time, like, she can only be so annoying where you're just like, this doesn't really bother me. So, like, she's just amazing. She can do it all just like Charlotte. And obviously, her WrestleMania match initially with Charlotte was probably the best match at that WrestleMania, arguably.
I was there.
Oh, were you really? Yeah, no.
It was at 34. It was at 34.
Oh man, yeah, no, but even still, I still think she should have won that match. However, outside of that, she is. I think she's the best female wrestler in the game right now, like outside of Charlotte. So,
All right.
Thunder Rosa, maybe.
Yeah. Who do you got, James?
I got time for one more, and then I gotta go.
Okay. Then we stop it there, and then we just continue on because we only have a few left. But
yeah,
all right, I have to go with a different. I have to go with another tag team. I have to go with another tag team because I have the Legion of Doom, and Legion of Doom is mostly a face tag team.
How many tag teams you got?
Only one, Legion of Doom.
Yeah,
he's only got Legion of Doom.
Tag division, pretty much.
Wait, so who'd you just pick?
No, I must. No, I didn't make my pick yet.
Oh, okay.
I didn't make my pick yet.
Main event and then / mid card, and then I got three more. Yeah, three more female. For female.
You got two tag teams. Ryan and Jeffrey has two tag teams each.
Yes.
I got three. I got
the Bucks and the Hardys.
I got Dudley's, Beer Money, and Money Inc.
Oh yeah, you have three. So basically, you ran out of tag teams to pick.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so I have to go with the tag teams because I only got one. And if I have to go with, because Legion of Doom is a face team, I have to go with a heel team. I have to go with the team that revolutionized not a 2-man team, but a 3-man team. And that's why the rules named after them.
You're picking the Fabulous Freebirds.
Yep, Fabulous Freebirds.
Yeah.
They
revolutionized the Freebird rule. Basically.
Yep, the AWA. How they do
revolutionized
Von Erichs, and then all that stuff. That's the team that has to be there. If I go with a Legion of Doom, I'm gonna have to go with one of the greatest heel team not named the Four Horsemen, and that's the Fabulous Freebirds.
All right.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, I gotta cut out.
For this video.
Go ahead.
My last pick, and it is a female, and who picked Charlotte?
He did.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with her rival, Sasha Banks. You know.
Oh.
I'm going, yeah, the legit boss. And let her have that dream match she wants with Trish Stratus. I mean, come on. I think that
another girl who can do it all.
Yeah, I think she's
like Snoop Dogg's cousin.
Whereas Charlotte Flair is like her dad, basically. So if I were to say who would be kind of the modern day Trish Stratus, Sasha Banks, easily.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad pick. Definitely very, very good pick. That was gonna be definitely gonna be the next female I was considering for sure. But no, since I got time for one last pick, I'm gonna go with a really, really obscure pick. I'm going to go with New Japan's version of Undertaker. I'm going to go with Jinsei. Which he did have a brief stint in WWE. I'm trying to remember the name of him right now off the top of my head. Oh my goodness.
You mentioned Thunder Rosa. I just got a notification.
It was the Japanese guy with all the writing on his face and everything like that. I can't remember his WWE name, but outside of WWE's name is Jinsei. That guy is the next. He would have been Taker outside of Taker. He was the response to Taker, and in fact, they actually did have a short brief match, or not brief match. It was like 30-45 minutes long. They had a match in New Japan together, actually, Jinsei versus Undertaker, where it was basically like the white light versus like the darkness. Even though like Jinsei was like the zombie character, and it was crazy.
Hakushi?
Yes, Hakushi. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Hakushi.
I think
that guy, so good in the ring.
I did see a match that Taker had in Japan, but I can't remember who he fought, but it was someone who kept. Oh,
it was probably. I think it was Akushi.
I think he fought a coup in Japan at one point, and you
Maybe
all the screaming and stuff like that. But I remember Taker was at one point in Japan.
But Hakushi had like the white knight type thing going on, but he was like he was coming back from like the dead after like losing to the last guy he just faced. It was crazy. By the way, I have to cut out, guys. Thank you for having me. By the way, I'll definitely be able to catch it next time. So now that I got this whole thing situated,
we'll definitely do one next week. Obviously,
yeah, we gotta continue. James, we gotta finish this up next week.
Yeah, James.
Who's
your final pick?
My final pick, since they all going with Jeffrey went different, not a female, but
I cut out.
Ryan, you went with a 4-horsewoman. I have to go with a 4-horsewoman. I have to go with the person who was red hot up until she had to leave WWE for pregnancy, which is Becky Lynch. How she made herself known, just like, even though WWE just we don't care about you. Never won the NXT title. How she made herself known and how she became the man. That's someone I want to pick up.
Yeah, obviously. So unfortunately, we can't get through all of them. But next week we will be doing.
We each
what would be the final 3 picks for our wrestling draft.
Yeah, 3 picks.
So
no, I think 4 picks actually, because we were on 11.
Final 4 picks.
Yeah, final 4 picks.
But yeah, obviously. So we will be back next week to conclude this, and we will have more news and stuff like that. So James, got any final thoughts before we end this?
This was a draft, but I'm going to tell you this just for note everybody who say, "Oh, this person should have been higher." This is not who I would pick as favorites. Who we know I know honestly, we will put a list out of who we think is better from our federation, who like from a top to low bottom, but we pick who we pick. We're not saying, okay, this Ric Flair, yes, he is the best. But then, for me, picking AJ Lee number 3. I know that's obscure, but it is what it is. But we just picked how we think we could. It doesn't mean that we put them as our list, because I honestly would have gone with all main eventers. I would have gone Flair, Michaels, Sting first, and then I'll put like my women the last 5. But again, this is not what we want. But Ryan?
Yeah, obviously. And on that bombshell, we will see y'all next week. Until then, we will see y'all later.